If I were running for political office right now, what I would be focused on is letting the American people know how I can best serve them. That's really all that matters. And I think for those who are running for office, and frankly for voters, all they want is solutions. There's so much partisanship, and there's so much, hey, finger pointing, it's their fault and it's their fault. If you're running for office at any level, when I ran for city council in Hawaii and state house and for Congress and for president, frankly, I wasn't focused on what all of these other people or candidates were doing. I was focused on addressing the challenges that people across this country are facing, and offering to serve them and to try to address those challenges. And I think that's the most important thing any candidate can and should be focused on, rather than what anyone else is doing. It is unfortunate that we have leaders in great positions of power and influence who are intentionally choosing not to reach out to voters across the country, to people across the country, regardless of what their political affiliation may be, regardless of what cable news channel they may watch. It's a big problem that we have leaders who are choosing to essentially leave out and ignore hundreds of millions of people in this country simply because they may not agree with them on all issues. Regardless of your party, it's important that we have leaders who are there to serve all Americans, because that's exactly what the job description says, not just people of your own party. And in order to bridge that divide, you've got to be willing to listen. You've got to be willing to try to understand a different perspective. And then, of course, see how we can work together as Americans to solve the problems and serve the best interests of the American people in our country. Every election is an opportunity for voters across the country to be able to keep those in office they have confidence in, and fire those that they don't. No politician should take their job for granted. This is how our democracy was intended. We've got a lot to do to be able to improve the integrity of our elections, and making sure that when people go and cast their vote, they have the confidence that their vote will be counted. It is incumbent upon all of us as voters to be engaged in this process and not be afraid to fire those who are failing to do their job. People in Washington work for us. They work for voters. We are the ones who have the power to be able to hire and fire those who have the best interests of the American people in our country at heart. And so for those who are dissatisfied with the direction of our country, who are dissatisfied with the leadership that we have, well, these elections that we have coming up in just a few months, both primaries and general elections, and of course, the election in 2024 is our opportunity to have our voice heard.